So after that, we get into a match we don't have to spend too much time on because it really is what is. And actually, this match is more of a lead-in to the next segment. And that is a just great old squash match. But this one from Maple Leaf Wrestling back in November of 1984 at the Convention Center there in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, between Jimmy Snuka and No Class Bobby Bass, one of my favorite enhancement talents. And it is a super energetic, just, showcase of Jimmy Snuka, and it's the big splash for the win. And that sets us up for the Piper's Pit with Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, the most famous Piper's Pit of all time, I would say. And at the time watching it, one of the most serious segments I'd probably seen in wrestling back then. It really got the point across that this was a serious feud and it was all business.
Yeah, it's great. We don't have to belabor it because anybody that's listening to us right now probably has seen this 1,000 times. And if they haven't, Snuka's out there screaming, "Are you making fun of me?" Because, Piper's saying, "Hey, you want some bananas? You want some coconuts?" And then eventually smashes one of the coconuts over his head. And the Snuka just runs up, knocks the set down, and then they start brawling kind of to the back until Jimmy finally regains his composure and goes after him. But Piper is already behind a closed locked door and heading for the locker room. So really cool stuff there. And then that as kind of the 3-part, you have the hype for Snuka in the squash match. You show the Piper's Pit, which is infamous. And then you get into a Roddy Piper and Jimmy Snuka match, which, hey, that's nothing wrong with that, my friend. And then it goes into the match of Jimmy Snuka against Roddy Piper from Madison Square Garden. So this one took place also in 1984 in August, the end of August to be specific. And hey, did you catch at the very beginning of this when they're kind of before they start, when Piper screams out, "Oh, motherfucker"?
Yeah. Highlighting the realism. Gotta love it.
Yeah, and Snuka is, man, the crowd loves him. You mentioned it earlier, this is the height of Snookadom.
Yeah, I got crossed up here actually thinking back in my memories, and a different tape. I know there was a Snuka and Piper Fijian strap match that they had. I'm not sure which Coliseum video it was. I'm sure we'll come across it. I believe Luthez may even be the referee. My history may be a little off there, but the thing that stood out on that match was I think it was the only time during this period I saw Piper actually get pinned. This match here, just kind of as we saw with other Piper matches, continued the feud. It was always a brawl and everything like that, but you didn't see a clean pin. And stood out how long these feuds lasted with Piper. He just was really able to stretch them out.
Yeah, for sure. And this match is great. I love when Piper tries to headbutt Snuka, and we know that's not going to work, right? And then he staggers, but then he comes right back with the eye poke in classic Piper-esque fashion. I love that. It showed the differences between Snuka and Piper and all that made both of those characters amazing and the feud amazing. And Piper's great. The crazy sell on the sleeper hold that Piper actually sold on Snuka sleeper hold was awesome. And Piper gets busted open, man. Gets some blood in this one, as he should. It's a blood feud. In every match they go, they should show some blood there. And it ends with a kind of a weird finish where Jimmy goes for the crossbody off the top and he gets kind of stun gunned over the top, and then counted out, and Piper wins. Once again, it's always going to be a little bit of a non-definitive finish to keep that feud rolling down the track.
Yeah, it was amazing that Piper was able to pull that off so much. Even when it came to Hogan, there was never a pinfall loss there. They let it slide. I guess that's how talented he was. But as far as matches that are blood feuds or fights, I think Piper's matches are the matches to study between these matches with Snuka and some other ones from '85 with Paul Orndorff. They are just the guideline for guys who are having a match, that are feuding, that are having a fight, not just a wrestling match, but they have a reason to fight. They really, they really show what that type of match should be.
Yeah, I think this is one of those matches that you put it on a short list, and I'm sure the other Snuka Piper matches as well. But this entire feud and all these matches, whichever one, and you show to young wrestlers and up-and-coming wrestlers of when you have a real emotionally charged feud that is supposed to mean something, and you're supposed to have the collective fan experience be the suspension of disbelief and believe these people really want to kill each other. Watch this, because that's what the fans are so into this, and they are behind Snuka, and they want to see blood and guts and Piper have his comeuppance. These are like it's a textbook on how to do that, and I just wish we would see that a little bit more in feuds that really mattered like this, and that there was more believability. But this is great.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lost art. Today they get on social media and talk about how great the match was, whatever, and these guys were just wanting to get that fight across, and it really mattered.